So subscribe, comment, like, share.
Right,
I always have to remember to say that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
All right. It's a wrap.
Yes, sir. So that's what it is. It's nobody really likes delayed gratification. They don't.
So how do you fix that?
So, and it's a
All
mental.
right. So welcome again to the Dixon Legacy Podcast, friends.
Yes, we're here.
And we're here again with my brother, Jason.
Yes.
So as I start with all the anybody I talk to, I always start with, who are you? Who is Jason?
Who is Jason? Well, I'm 48 years old. I am the senior pastor of the Power of God Ministries. I am a husband, father of four, and living life. Worked in corporate America for about 18 years before I went into full-time ministry. And that's who I am right now.
Okay, so dovetails right into, who are your mother and father? And just name them and talk a little bit about what they mean to you.
Father is Aquila Dixon, and my mother passed away a few years ago is Faye Dixon. And again, my father worked as a driving school instructor as well as a nurse in the medical field. My mother, Faye Dixon, she worked as a nurse prenatal or neonatal in Canada as well as in Miami, Florida for Jackson Memorial. So both of them worked in healthcare. They were instrumental in, of course, our upbringing and the character and our ideologies, what we have now bringing into everyday life. So they were very, very instrumental in all of that.
All right, so as we move along, I call this part "Tell Me a Story."
Right.
So what I want to do is just because what we're trying to do here is meant through conversation.
Right.
So in the segments that I'm kind of running now is tell me a story about a time that you went through a tough time in your life, right? Did you have anyone to talk to at the time? Because I think a lot of times we go through it and we just try and figure it out and we don't really talk to anybody. That's some of the narratives that I get. And then if you look at it years later, right, what would you tell your younger self about the experience you went
I'd say
through?
probably one of the toughest times was when my first wife passed away. So my first wife passed away in 2010 because of sarcoidosis. It's like something that was attacking the lining of the lungs. You could get it in any part of your body, but that's where it attacked her. And several people have it even now, like celebrities. You might remember Bernie Mac. He had sarcoidosis. He actually passed away from it. And even others, what is she in?
But they just said pneumonia, like we usually hear that as pneumonia, right?
Yeah, that's what they said. It was pneumonia, but it was actually like a derivative of sarcoidosis that did it. And even, I can't remember her name, it was not Takesha Arnold, but it's the one that plays on Martin. She actually had it too, but it went into remission. But I would say that's probably one of the hardest things that happened. I had two kids at the time. One was 10 and one was 8 when she actually passed away. So now as a single father having to raise those two kids. Did I have somebody to talk to? I actually had William and Renee House. They were very, very close friends at the time. And of course, family, parents were there. So, but William and Renee House actually lived in Houston, probably about 2 or 3 blocks away. Still friends till this day. And I can honestly say they really helped me to keep my mind together during that time. Of course, it was a tough time already, but they really... anybody that's experienced death and stuff like that, especially of a spouse, you can kind of start trying to spin out of control. But when you have people that really just there for you, they really did hold it together. I spent many days at their house, ate dinner at their house, just hung out with them, barbecued with them, played tennis with them, just doing things to get my mind off of what was going on while the healing process was going on. So in that case, I'd say I had somebody, even though I was, kind of introverted during that time, but I had somebody to kind of reach out to who was still kind of trying to look out for me.
Okay. So going through, if you think back, what would you tell your younger self how to manage that situation, if you would change anything?
Well, it's a lot of things in hindsight's 2020
Yeah.
because you don't make. I remember Dad told me don't make any major moves during that time because everything's so raw. All your emotions are raw and stuff, and he said don't make any major moves during that time. But I really can't say I would just change anything. I'm sure there are probably things that could be changed, but like during the time that was going on, there's not much I would say I would change right now because I basically just stayed low.
Yeah.
I just flew under the radar, just going to work, taking care of the kids, and going to church and stuff like that. But it's like there wasn't anything really just outside the lines that I was doing. So and of course I was still around family and stuff because I definitely was coming back to Florida
Yeah.
more. So I was doing the very best that I could to just stay around family, stay around friends. Well, of course, William and Renee. I had a small, well, still do. I have a small circle, but that on that side of it, there's not much that I think I would have just changed now. Just thinking back on it, just doing the best that you could during that time to just go through a healing process. Yeah, just gradually. It really was just day by day.
Yeah, and I think what you'll
It
find
really
is,
was day by day.
especially as you get older, you find that your true circle of
Right.
friends is very small.
Right. Absolutely.
You can count them
Yeah.
on one, maybe
Yeah.
two hands,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah, true circle of
yeah,
friends. You might have a lot of associates that are around, but your real friends that are really going to be there for you, it's always going to be few.
and you won't know that until you're going through that hard
Right,
time,
right.
and that's the unfortunate part,
Yeah,
right?
the hardest of times.
Yeah.
Because many people said, oh, well, we're going to call, or,
Yeah.
if you need me, call me. But, those phone calls always dissipate. They always go away. And I really didn't blame people either
Yeah.
because they have to go back to their own lives.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're going back to their lives. They're going back to work, taking care of their families and all this stuff. So a lot of times people will say that. They're not saying it with no harm involved. They're just speaking out of a place of love. But life is still life. So when life kicks back in, then they don't have all this time for you anymore.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
where your real friends are the ones that are there that will make the time, sacrifice the time. So to me, I never looked at it as a good bad
Yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
just looked at it as, hey, people always have good intent, but then life kicks back
That's
in
right.
and they have to go back and handle the business that they have to do. So it wasn't here nor there to me.
Right.
I was more just focused on Jordan and Kia and getting past that time.
Yeah, so for me, one of the things I always say is not good or bad, it just is.
Right, it just is. Right,
Right?
that's
It just is,
that's a
man.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
It just is. It's that's why I look at things different sometimes because I don't look at it a lot of issues as a good bad issue. I just look at it as this is what the scenario is, and it's not doesn't mean oh this person's bad and they just weren't there for me. No, they're living their life, and their life is just as busy as mine.
Right.
So they're gonna have less time to be able to just be there, so to speak. And again, true friends are the ones that it's beyond a friendship. It
Yeah.
almost becomes more like family.
Yeah, yeah.
So they'll drop anything and come to your aid if they need to.
Yeah, and periodically check up and
Right.
just make sure you're
Right.
good. Yeah.
Right.
So is there any advice you would give? Like what's one piece of tangible advice that somebody could pick up and use if they're going through that?
Well, during that period of
Yeah.
time, well,
Yeah.
definitely. Again, like you said, you're gonna know who your real friends are.
Yeah.
In the worst times of your life, that's when they're gonna shine the most.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna come out. So just stick close to them, and of course, stick close to family, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what's gonna really matter in. In that kind of a situation, that's what's going to matter. It's going to keep your head on straight, so you're not making any crazy decisions or swift moves or things that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
Because you're not really. Sometimes you're not even thinking straight because there's so many things going on, so many things
Yeah.
coming at you. So you don't want to do anything that's going to cause you to do something that you'll regret later.
Right.
So the best thing to do is just like Dad said, don't make any major decisions. Just kind of chill out, stand still for a while, and just kind of let that healing process go.
Yeah, and I think that's big. don't make any major
Yeah,
decisions because a
no,
lot of times you
no,
want to be logical, not emotional.
exactly.
And at
And
that
you'll
point, you're fully emotional.
fully emotional. Like it's all
Yeah, yeah,
emotion because
yeah.
you just don't really know what's going on. Like you're at a loss. So it's all emotions that's going. The real information in your mind doesn't kick back in till later.
Yeah,
It could
yeah,
be
yeah,
weeks, months, whatever, but it doesn't kick in at that time. It's more emotion.
yeah. So one of the things I want to talk about too. So you talked about hard time, right? Difficult time. Like, so let's talk about where did you come from and where you're at. Because one of the things we want to let people know is you're gonna go through that,
Right,
and it is gonna
definitely.
build you. And there's always reasons why it sort of happened to me. Everybody's like,
Right,
why
right,
me,
right.
right? But look at the okay, so this just made me stronger, so I can deal with this next thing
Yeah,
that's coming, right?
and that's
So you can make it through it.
yeah, you
So
can
let's talk about
absolutely
where you
make
came
it.
from and then where you're at now.
Right, because I was working, of course, at that time, working for a company called Universe. So I'd been working for them since 1998. So, of course, when that happened, it really was that's the greatest test of faith ever was during that time. But again, the healing process took time. And that's the main word. It takes time.
Right.
It's not going to happen overnight. So you're talking maybe a year, 2, 3 years. Nobody has the same timetable, but you just have to go through and you will come out on the other side. Because, of course, I was still working, still moving forward. Then, even after that, you're getting into new things, new ideas like investing and stuff like that. So you find new passions.
Yeah.
That's what kind of starts to grow you too, because you start getting into new passions, things that's exciting you as you're going through life. Then you see those things work. And the further you get away from, I guess, the thing that took place, the tragedy that took
Yeah.
place, the newer things start to be born in you. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Okay.
So that's what kind of carries you through too. It's like the new things that you're getting involved in.
Yeah.
And then you can help other people because I was still helping other people,
Yeah.
people that were going through things. Other people lost their spouse. So now we had conversations about,
Correct.
okay, hey, I know how you feel.
Because you
You can
actually been
actually
there.
say
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so I found for me that helping other people was therapeutic for me. So it wasn't just me stewing away in something, but helping other people was a quick builder for me and
Yeah. Right.
helped me to find my way out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what physical things? Because I wanted to sort of just talk about intentionally that you do for legacy.
So for legacy,
Yes.
right now it's investing.
Okay.
Because I know, hey, you're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So you want to build something and leave something behind that's going to be lasting. So one of the main things is investments. Right now we do in cryptocurrency, especially, which is like digital currency is something that we look at a lot now and I deal with. And then, of course, even for the church wise, trying to put something into place as far as a school, life center,
Okay.
all those kinds of things that will be left behind as legacy, like become an institution.
Correct.
So of course it's like it's only what you're doing now that you're gonna leave behind is gonna last. Because again, you won't be here forever, but you can build something and put something into place that can be,
Right.
or that can be passed on to the children, and then even passed on to their children, and even not your immediate children, but even those that are just in your circle that you can teach and help to do the same thing. So I'd say the main thing is investing into something that will continue to pay you, and you're not just trading time for dollars.
Right, right, and I think that's the biggest thing
Right.
for me is the knowledge of the sort of financial literacy
Right,
piece.
right,
So
right.
number one, don't get in debt.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So if
exactly.
you can help whoever, and it doesn't
Right.
matter if it's family, because a lot of times when we think legacy, we think children, right?
Right.
But sometimes you don't have kids or
Yeah.
whatever. So what can you do for friends
help somebody else,
right?
right.
Other people.
Yeah.
And when we think investing, you don't need $1 million.
No.
Just take $5 out of your paycheck
Exactly.
every other week or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and
Right?
that's the thing is everybody
Yeah.
always wants to go for the home run
Yeah.
or the grand slam, but it really is the bass hits. So what's going to happen is if you just do the bass hits and keep doing that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, before you know, you're going to look up and you're going to be sitting on something that can be passed down to the next generation. And you won't even realize how quick it stacks up.
But my question is, why does nobody listen to that when even Warren Buffett, like all the guys tell you that it's the long haul.
Well,
it's investing a little bit over time. It's a compounding interest. They all tell you that. Buy what is it? Buy low
and sell high,
right? But nobody listens to that.
Because it's the delayed gratification, though.
Emotions.
See, most people don't like delayed gratification. They want it now. So we live in a now-centered society. So I want it now. I want to go to the mall, buy something now. So it's the feeling of, okay, if I buy a pair of Jordans, I have it on my feet right now. I can look at it, and not just I can look at it, but other people see me with it. So, of course, that's our society that we live in now. Instead of saying, hey, I can wait. And I think Dave Ramsey says it, you know, if you live like no one else now, later you'll be able to live like no one else. That's what he says all the time. So it's like, if you'll do the things now, like you said, why doesn't people listen? Because the delayed gratification piece. People don't like, they want it tangible. They want something I can get right now, hold on to it, grab it. But if I'm investing something, I'm not seeing the return right away. So now I get antsy and then I want to take it out and do all this stuff instead of waiting for the return to kit, which might come 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road. So that's what it is. It's nobody really likes delayed gratification. They don't.
So how do you fix that?
So, and it's a mentality.
How do you fix that mentality?
And the thing is, it really is a mentality that all you can do is keep on teaching it. Because somebody eventually is gonna listen. So you might have the 8 out of 10 that don't listen, but if the 2 will listen, at least you can catch those 2 and you've done well. And then if those 2 can pass it to another 2 and another 2, because the masses by and large are not going to do it. No matter, like you said, Buffett's saying it, this one's saying it, everybody's saying it, but yet they're still not doing it because the masses is still ruled by, you know, social media and the culture and all that. That's the masses is still ruled by it. It's a small percentage that's the outliers on the outside saying, hey, oh yeah, I'm hearing what Buffett's saying. Let me implement this and I can change my life and my legacy. So you've won. If you have 2 out of 10 that's doing it, you've done well.
All right. So as we wrap up, we got to finish off with what's your social media handle, different things like that, and we'll post it in the comments or post it in the description below. Or if you could just, you know, list your social media handles.
All of the social media handles are just basically under Jason Dixon. So like if you go to Facebook, it's Pastor Jason Dixon. I believe that Instagram is the same. So everything you'll be able to find me just under like at Jason Dixon or at Pastor Jason Dixon, and you'll see them all come up.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So you can find me easily on social media.
All right. So subscribe, comment, like, share. I always have to remember to say that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
All right, man.
All right. It's a wrap.
Yes, sir. Yes.